The top arrow shows where the stars are, and then we can see a zoom up of the stars. It's a young binary system. The bottom you see a point of light, that's one star. In the middle there's another point of light, that's the second star, and then to the top right there's some brightly lit up dust. We go back to the Nick Moss image. You see a long narrow filament. It extends from near the stars all the way down to a third object. That third object, we call it TMR1C, is the candidate young planet. It's about 10,000 times fainter than our sun. The filament seems to connect the planet to the stars, and the filament is the reason that we think they're associated.
From what we know of the 8 or so extrasolar planets that have been detected so far by indirect means around other sun-like stars, those planets all have masses of around from 1/2 to perhaps 3 Jupiter masses. This new object fits neatly within that same grouping of masses. That is a very strong argument that what Susan has found here is actually another giant planet. What you're seeing in this image is we're looking down on the plane of a planet-forming disk, which has begun to break up into spiral arms. This disk is so cold and so dense that the gas and dust are beginning to clump up through their own self-gravity. You can see spiral arms forming. As we go to the next image, you'll see that one of the arms begins to grow at the expense of the others. And this happens within a few hundred years. Within a few hundred years, the disk can convert itself into about a 2 or 3 Jupiter mass clump of gas, which is what happens in the simulation. That's the same mass as is inferred for the image that Susan found. For perhaps tens of thousands of years or perhaps 100,000 years, but during that time period, the second star that we know is in the TM.
So if we could have the video now. You see we're zooming through. Everything looks pretty black. Now in near infrared, it's fairly bright. There's the filament, the planet, young planet at the end of it, rotated around. And here's an artist's conception of